This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, welcome to Quick Expert. I am Kshitij, the software testing trainer from Quick Expert Infotech. So, first of all, who can join the software testing course? Both IT as well as non-IT student can join the course. Okay. So, basically, what is the software testing? So, as you all know, nowadays many websites and applications are getting implemented, right? So, such websites and applications need to be tested before it get deployed. This checking of website and application is called the software testing. Okay. So now what's the main goal of the software tester? What is the main aim of the software tester? He should think like a customer and work as a destroyer. Means he should think like a customer, like product is reliable or not, it is user friendly or not, product is useful or not, as well as he should also work as a destroyer. Okay. So work as a destroyer means you have to perform negative testing, providing invalid inputs. Like you have to check whether by providing invalid input form. Okay. So it should give the error message and all. So that comes in a negative testing. Okay. So now let's move to the software testing types. So software testing has two types: manual testing and automation testing. So first of all, let's see what's manual testing. Manual testing is done manually by the tester and not by the machine. It is just a process of creating test cases, generating test results, and reporting the defect to the developer. Okay. So first of all, let's see the manual testing syllabus. What's the manual testing syllabus consist of? Okay. Okay. So this will be a manual testing syllabus. So manual testing syllabus consists of testing fundamental. Testing fundamental, we will be covering quality control, quality assurance. Quality control means it will be before testing, we have to test the application. And quality assurance is we will be testing application after deployment. Okay. And after that, we'll be going through the functional test, non-functional test, performance, usable, reliable, and security testing. Okay. Then we'll be going through life cycle, that is SDLC, software development life cycle, STLC, software testing life cycles, and difference between both. So let me show you my slide. This slide, this notes will be provided to you. Okay. So first of all, SDLC. What is SDLC? SDLC is one framework through which the entire software development lifecycle works. So this will be the first phase, requirement and analysis, where the client gives the requirement. According to it, it will be analyzed. In second phase, designing phase, developer will be designing the application accordingly. In the third phase, developers will be coding the application. Then he will implement it together, and he will give you to test. So you have to test the application, and any defect arises, you can report to the developer. If none of it, then it goes to the next stage, that is delivery and maintenance. So this was about SDLC phase as well as STLC phase. Also, I will give you one overview that what is STLC. STLC is the software testing lifecycle. So in the STLC, the very first phase is test planning, that you have to plan that what type of testing you have to perform. And according to that, the next phase will be test analysis, that you have to check and you have to prioritize that which type of testing you have to perform, and which will the module that you will be testing first, which will the module that you will be testing further. And after that comes test implementation, where you will be writing test cases. Test execution will be your dynamic testing, and then if any if effect arises, you can report to the developer. And then comes test closure, where the entire testing team, development team, and the management team works on how to resolve the defect, how to fix the defect. Okay. So this was all about the software testing lifecycle. And then comes testing types, that is black box testing and white box testing. Okay. So black box testing. Black box testing itself indicate black. Black means what? That you are not concerned anything about programming language. You are just concerned about the input and output. Okay. So let me show you one example. So see, here's the diagram. Wait a minute. So this is the test case input. That is, you are just concerned with the input and output. You are not concerned with in the which programming language that application is implemented. So that is a black box. Okay. So you are just concerned with the test case input, that whatever input I am giving, according to that the output should come. Okay. So that is black box. Accordingly, we will also be going through the white box testing and all the concepts of white box. That is, white box testing is that you have to provide test case input, and you have to also check the flow chart, that how it works, how the algorithms and flowchart works. According to that, it will give you the test case output. Okay. So this was all about white box and black box that will be covered in our session. Then comes software testing models. So software testing models will be covering waterfall model, V model, agile methodology, iterative model, RAD, agile, and advantage and disadvantage of model. Okay. So that is also covered in our this notes. In second module, we will be covering the entire module section. Okay, so this is waterfall model. So how do waterfall model works? What are the phases of waterfall model? Features of waterfall model. We will be going through advantage and disadvantages. Then V model. So accordingly, how V models works. What are the features? What are the inner working involved in the V model? That will be going through. What are advantage and disadvantage? Similarly, iterative life cycle along with the diagram, features and advantage and disadvantage will be covered. Rapid application, that is RAD model. What is its purpose? Why it is used? That will be covered. And then comes agile development methodology, which is mostly used in IT company. Okay, so along with this diagram, features and along with this advantage and disadvantage, that are all included. Okay, so manual testing part, software testing models is very much important part which you need to know. Okay, so after that comes test cases. So here the test cases will be a practical session that I will be giving you one requirement. You have to understand the project and then you have to write the test cases in the Excel sheet, that is using the format called RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Okay, so I will show you one format of RTM. So I have one Excel sheet. Okay. So see, so RTM format I have written in Excel sheet, but this format is called as RTM. Requirement ID, requirement description, test ID, test description. You have to provide input and then expected output and actual output. And you have to check whether the test case is passed or it is failed. Okay. This is your first sheet. This will be your second sheet. That is test result and all. Whichever test cases are passed, whichever test cases are failed, that you have to show in the graphical view and then you have to report it to the developer. Okay, so reporting to the developer has its own format. So this format will be following. So this will be your live testing on the live website. Okay, so this testing you will be performing on the quickbrowser.com, which will be our live website. Okay, so this comes under manual testing practical session where your entire project you will be testing, and according to that developer will be giving you the notification. Okay, so after that, the test design techniques. So test design techniques include static testing, review process. What are the roles and responsibility of the review process? What is the role of the tester? What is the role of the developer? What is the role of the entire testing team, entire development team? What is the role of the author? That all will be covered in review process. Then test case preparation, how to prepare test case, boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning. These are two concepts of the black box testing. And then we'll be going through software verification, validation, stress load and endurance testing. This comes under performance testing part, and then the testing matrices. Okay, so after that we'll be going through the bug life cycle. Bug life cycle is much more important for the testing purpose. Okay, so after that we'll be going through the regression testing. Regression testing mostly it is used for when the addition of the modules, when the developer add any module. If you want, if if the developer wants you to test the module again after the addition of the new module, so you should test the new module. Along with that, the existing functionality should be checked. So it is called as the regression testing. So UAT, it is user acceptance testing. Alpha beta testing will be covered. Test management, that is how to analyze the test, how to analyze the risk if any risk occur. So that part will also be covered. So in comes database testing. Database testing include SQL concepts. Database testing process, we will be writing the SQL queries, select, insert, update and delete. Okay, so database testing will again be your practical part. Okay, so I have to do you know anything about the queries, both of you, Sonal and Bliss?
Yes,
uh,
yes.
Basic queries you are knowing, both of you?
Hello.
Hello. Basic queries of databases, that is creating table, updating table. Do you know any concept about it, writing queries and all? Bliss.
No, no, no,
Okay, okay. So
not
I will
really.
be okay. So I will be teaching everything from the scratch. That what are the SQL concepts, what are the queries, why we write the queries, and how to write the queries in the MySQL tool. Okay, so that all I will be covering in the database testing part. Along with that, the asset properties also will be covered. Okay, so after that we'll be moving through the Bugzilla, that is bug tracking and defect reporting tool. So we'll be going through the introduction, installation and configuration. We'll be creating the account and creating project as well as writing the test cases, file debug and generate report. Okay. So Bugzilla is a defect tracking and reporting tool. Okay. So Bugzilla is not a desktop application. It is just the website. So let me show you. So see, so this is a Bugzilla website. Through this Bugzilla website, how to file a new bug. So for filing a new bug, you require login access, right? So for that, we will be first creating the account. According to that, we will be reporting the bug to the developer. Okay. So this concept is covered in Bugzilla, which will be again your practical session. Okay. So this was all about manual testing syllabus. And after that, we will be getting the chance to work on our live project, that is bioducking.com, quickbio.com, as well as the Android app, that is bioducking. Okay. So this was all about the manual testing. So do you have any doubt about manual testing course? Any one of you?
No.
Okay. So let's move to the automation testing. So before moving to the automation testing, the main question arises: what is automation? What is automation testing? So automation testing is a process of creating test cases in series, and you will be executing it automatically with the help of the tool such as Selenium, JMeter, etc. Okay. For the Selenium tool, the core Java basic knowledge is necessary, which will be taught by us. Okay. So one question I will ask you, that both of you, do you have any knowledge about Java, core Java? Hello.
No,
No,
not much. We
Okay.
heard,
not
but
yet.
not much.
Yeah. And Sonal, you?
No, no idea.
Okay. 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 So both of you are not from IT field, right?
No.
Education is not
Yes,
from IT field.
right.
Okay.
BCom.
Right.
No.
Okay. So I will be teaching everything from the scratch. Okay. From Java session, what are the Java? What is use of Java? And accordingly, we will be also going through the practical session like control structure, if else looping, for structure looping, while looping, what is do while, how to create the object, how to create the method. So this will be your basic session. That is, for example, the ABCD of Java. Okay. So once you got the knowledge of ABCD, that is what is Java, how to create the structures in Java, how to create the code, how to implement the code, how to apply logic on that Java code. So after that, we'll be moving to the array and string packages, and then the OOPS concept, Java beans and array list. Okay. So OOPS, Java beans and array list are asked in the interview, as well as we will be using it for the framework, Selenium frameworks. Okay. So that part is much more important. And if you join for the advanced automation testing course, the JDBC connection, exception handling, and filer, these three concepts will also be the covered, as it is included in the advanced automation testing syllabus. Okay. So after that, we'll be moving to the Selenium ID. So first of all, I will be giving you the automation description, that is what is automation definition, functionality, and regression testing. And then I will be moving through the Selenium ID. Selenium is basically a website testing tool that you will be automating websites. Okay. So Selenium has a type like Selenium ID. Selenium ID is a record and playback tool. That is whatever manual testing activity, whatever you are performing. So if you want to record your activities, testing activities, so you can use this Selenium ID to record it, and later on you can playback it. So we will be also going through the manual editing, auto scripting using commands. Okay. So this is entirely the independent Selenium ID tool, which is used for the record and playback. Okay. So after that, we'll be moving through the Selenium Web Driver. So in the Selenium Web Driver includes package API usage. So we will be going through the package, what are the API usage and all, web driver commands, what are the different web driver commands, operation, web driver scripting, regression testing, Selenium remote control, and Selenium grid. These are not the practical session, just the theoretical part. Like Selenium remote control was the earlier version which the Selenium was using. So we'll be just going through the theoretical session, as it will be asked for the interview and all. Selenium grid, JavaScript executor. JavaScript executor will be using it for the scrolling down. If you want to check whether the website is scrollable or not, so we'll be using JavaScript executor, as well as JavaScript executor is used for to check whether the fields, if the fields are disabled. So you need to test the disabled field, right? So if you have gone through the disabled field, like those fields which are available on the website, but you cannot enter any of the details on that text field. So in that case, how to enable the text field, and according to that, how to pass the inputs. So that will be covered through JavaScript executor. And then implicit explicit wait. So implicit explicit wait will be using for the OTP. If the OTP, or if the OTP page, how OTP gets generated, how to handle that OTP generation code and all that. And for that, we'll be using waits concept, implicit and explicit wait. And then comes Selenium exception. Okay. So Selenium exception also will be covered along with the Java exceptions. So then comes scenario-based testing. Scenario-based automation will be validating form, validating application flow, and logging defects. So this Selenium Web Driver as well as core Java, we will be using one tool called Eclipse. Okay, so this is my Eclipse tool. So through my Eclipse tool, I will be teaching you each and every concept. I will teach you each and every concept, and you have to practice it under my guidance. Okay, so I will be explaining the each and all meaning of each and every code. Okay, so for that the core Java knowledge is needed, which will be provided by us. So this code I have written. So I will be just executing the code. Okay, so the code will take some time to execute, as the Selenium is a regression based tool. Okay, Selenium is used for regression testing. So in the case of regression testing, the Selenium is used for testing the websites. Okay, so to interact with the website, we need some browser, right? So Selenium will be interacting your browser. It will be not interacting with your browser directly. It will be interacting with the third-party driver. So here I have given the path, that is Chrome driver.exe. This is my third-party driver through which it is interacting, and according to that, it will be right. It will be reading your code. Okay, so according to that, it will be executing. So in few minutes, it will be showing. So this is all about the automation testing, that is Selenium. Okay, so I have written the script for the bioducking.com, which is our lab website. Okay, so bioducking is a matrimonial site which you will be also testing it through the different forms and all. Okay, so Chrome browser got opened. So it is also giving me the info that starting Chrome browser 2.0 here on the right hand side. The local connections are allowed. Okay. So see, the website is getting loaded. So once the website get loaded, it will switch the browser to full window screen. Okay, so it has clicked on the login button. See what it is automating the script. Okay, I am not doing anything from my end. It is just automating the script as I have written it. So this is the automation testing. Okay, so automation testing is that you will be just writing the code and you will be executing the code. So once it get executed, it will do each and every testing activities automatically. So that is called as the automation. Okay, so see, it is mouse overing all the elements. It is clicking on edit my profile. Okay, so for this each and every code I have written the script. So now it will be clicking on basic details. So left side left side fields. So left side fields are disabled fields. So it is enabling that field and accordingly it is passing the value. Okay, so each and every field it is enabling it, and according to that it is passing the value. Okay, so gender, like it will be passing. According to that, it is also handling the calendar field. Okay, it is enabled, and according to that it is passing the values. It is checking each and every drop down. Yeah, it got selected. So in this way the automation testing works. Okay, so for that purpose, hello, huh?
Yeah, actually, I have a one.
Yeah, you can
Can you
ask.
hear?
Hello.
While doing automation testing, have you enter your all the details? Like, it is automatically entering your personal details. So
Yeah,
have you written a code for that?
yeah. I have written the entire code.
Like it,
See, I have written the entire code.
right?
I have written the entire code. Okay. So like,
You have
see, pass
enter
the
your
details.
details, right?
Yeah. It is called as
Okay.
automation. Okay. So see, my first name, my middle name, my
Right.
last.
You
Yeah. I have written
have,
each and every
no,
code. So according to that, it is executing. Okay.
given personal details.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay. So this was also all about automation. Okay. So let's see one more example. So this was one example, and other example is. Okay, so other example is that this was one example that we have validated the form, we have entered the details, and we have checked according to that it is working or not. Okay, so another example I am showing you, that is SEO test, that we have to check whichever links are broken, whichever links are valid. Okay, So for that purpose, it will be performing the SEO test. So let me execute the code. So according to that, what it will do, it will check each and every links of that website. And according to that, if any links are broken, it will be just reporting it in the Excel sheet. Okay, for that purpose, I have written it in the Excel sheet. Okay. So again, the Chrome driver is opening. It is interacting with the third-party driver, and it got opened. Okay, so the Chrome browser is open now, and according to that, we'll switch to the bioducking.com website, which is our lab website. Okay, so once it got loaded, it will be checking each and every link. So you can see in the console, this is my console of the Eclipse. Okay, so I am maximizing it. So see, each and every details, it is showing me that it is valid link, it is valid link. Okay, each and every URL of that website, it is showing me that which links are the valid link, which are the broken link. Okay, so it is not only printing in the console, as well as it is also written successfully in the Excel sheet. Okay, so let's check whether it has passed the details in the Excel sheet or not. Okay. So wait a minute, Excel sheet is getting on. Okay, so see, it has also passed each and every details in Excel sheet. Like URL under test, this was the first URL. Response code was 200, that is, it is valid link, and each and every link it has shown accordingly. Okay, so see this link, bioducking edit login info. So the response code was 500, and it was the broken link. So this was the report which you can send to the developer. Okay, so this is called as a defect report, which you will be reporting it on the lab website right to the developer. So this will be also covered in our syllabus. Okay, so after that we'll be going to the TestNG scripting. The TestNG, what is TestNG? TestNG is a base framework. Okay, through TestNG you can perform cross-border testing, means you can check the compatibility, that whether the website is working proper on Google Chrome or not, website is working proper on Mozilla Firefox or not. So you will be automating the script for multiple browsers. So that is possible through TestNG. Through TestNG you can perform parallel testing, means parallel two windows will be open, and parallelly the values will be entered under forms. Okay, so that is also possible through TestNG. So through TestNG you can pass the different inputs, the different user inputs on the single form, and you can check its workload. Okay, so that is achieved through data loader. That also will be covered. Setting priority levels of method, enable, disable, how to enable the method, how to disable the method using TestNG. That will also be covered. That is, and then POM, page object model. Page object model is one type of the framework which will be covered in the TestNG itself. Okay, so this was all about the Selenium, and then we'll be moving to the JMeter. So JMeter, what is JMeter? JMeter is a performance testing tool. Okay, so we'll be going through the basics, like what is introduction, where it is required, installation, building test plan. Okay, so executing test plan through HTTP request and SSL. So JMeter is not the programming language; it is just the tool. So let me show you that tool. So this is the tool. So this is JMeter. So each and every concept I will be explaining in detail. That what is thread group, how to assign the thread to the group, what is HTTP request, how can we generate the results in the table. That all will be covering. Okay. So HTTP request, how to pass the URL, how to test the application performance. Okay. So that all will be covered in JMeter. So this was all about automation testing, and then comes advanced automation. So advanced automation syllabus. So advanced automation syllabus consists of Maven. Okay. So Maven will be covered here. So Maven, like what is Maven? Maven is just a build, you can say, or you can say Maven is just a framework through which you can add the dependencies. Like if you want to work on the Excel sheet, you can work. If you want to work on the data-driven framework, you can work. So data-driven framework is in, you have to pass the Excel sheet details on the form itself. You have to pass the database details on the form itself. So that will be covered through the Maven build. Okay, so first we'll be going through the Maven. What is Maven? Why we use Maven? So installation process I will be covering, and then comes SEO testing, which I have shown you recently, the practical example, that testing valid and broken links. so links have anchor tags or not, that also we will be testing. URL domain check, so domain also will be checking. Automation testing framework, that is introduction, Excel driven. Okay, so Excel driven, as I told you, the Excel driven as in you will be passing the Excel sheet values to the form itself. So here we'll be using Apache POI API libraries in the Java. We'll be also using CSV files, that is require file Java IO. Okay, so data driven we'll be using MySQL server. So for that purpose we will be learning database testing. So database testing will be also covered in the automation testing syllabus. So we'll be generating the extent defect report, and according to that we'll be reporting it using API libraries in Java. Okay, so cross-border testing, as I told recently, cross-border testing is we will be testing the websites on different browser, and we'll be checking the compatibility, whether it is compatible with all the browsers or not. So this will be covered using TestNG to test multiple browser in the same program. That is Mozilla, Firefox, Chrome, etc. As well as we will be also testing the parallel test. We also performing the parallel testing for the multiple users on multiple forms in one shot via TestNG. Okay, like you have to test multiple login forms, single login forms for the multiple user. So in that case, you can check the load of the login form, whether it is working fine or not. So that can be achieved by using parallel test. Okay. So after that, we'll be doing the practice, best practice. Okay. So then we'll be working on live project. So you will be getting chance to work on a live project, that is biodecking.com. You will be automating the script for the biodata as I shown you. So these scripts you will be automating it. Okay, so whichever script I have written, so you will be automating the script or yourself. I will be teaching each and every details. Okay, and according to that you will be implementing. Okay. So this was all about the automation test. Okay, so this was also so we'll be also providing the professional notes. Like for automation testing I will be providing the notes. That is, I will be providing you the PDF for the automation notes. Okay, so these are all the automation notes. It is what is automation testing and all. So sessions, what all sessions will be covered. Each and every sessions I have described in the details, that what is automation testing, what is use of it. Okay, so this all will be covered. Manual testing. Okay, and according to that Java session also will be covered. So we'll be providing professional notes and study materials. Course completion, you will be getting ISO training certificate. Basic to advanced job oriented course will be giving you 75% practical will be there. Lab projects will be working on case studies. Okay, and dedicated placement teams and all. So our 5-step process for success are: you will be enrolling for the course, you will be getting trained. Okay, so you'll be designing projects, and we will be helping you to prepare the resume as well as for the interview prepare session. So this will be raising your confidence level under our guidance. Okay, so these are the WhatsApp numbers. You can call it in, or you can WhatsApp on these numbers for any inquiry or for the info. Okay, and this is our address. So any doubts, any of you? Hello.
No.